given the thumbs up.
Recording in progress.
Good morning. We'll call our meeting to order at 9:30 a.m. The regular meeting of the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees is now called to order. You may join today's meeting in person via Zoom, webinar, or watch the live stream from the College of the Desert YouTube channel. These links are accessible by visiting the College of the Desert homepage. We will now proceed with the roll call. Acting President Martinez Garcia, please proceed with the roll call.
Trustee Robles. Trustee Sanchez Fulton. Trustee Meyer.
Present.
Trustee Perez.
Here.
Trustee Oden.
Here.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Here. At this time, I would like to ask Trustee Sanchez Fulton if she would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag and one nation with God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pursuant to Government Code Section 54954.2B2, the board may take action on items of business not appearing on the posted agenda upon a determination by a two-thirds vote of the board, or if less than two-thirds of the members are present, a unanimous vote of those present, that there is a need to take immediate action and that the need for the action came to the attention of the local agency subsequent to the agenda being posted as specified. Do we have any items that you're aware of? Okay, great, thank you. Confirmation of the agenda, item 2.02. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the agenda for February 21, 2025? Seeing none, the agenda stands as presented. Public comments, item 3.01, request to address the Board of Trustees regarding regular agenda items. Remote public participation is allowed and will be accepted in person by email to otp@collegeofthedesert.edu during the meeting and submitted for the record, or by using the raise your hand function by joining the Zoom link. Pursuant to the District Administrative Procedure 2345, each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes per topic. 15 minutes shall be the maximum time allotment for the public speakers on any one subject, regardless of the number of speakers at any one board meeting. At the discretion of the majority of the board, these limits may be extended. All comments must be submitted or brought forward prior to the end of the public comment section. As an additional note, this item is intended for members of the public who wish to speak regarding regular agenda items. An opportunity to address the board on matters not related to the agenda will be available during item 19.01 of today's agenda. And Irene, have we received any requests?
We have not received any requests for items related to the agenda, but I did receive some for later for 19.01.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Public updates, item 4.01, new employee appointments. Acting President Dr. Garcia, please help us introduce this item.
Linda, to introduce our new appointments.
Thank you, Acting President Martinez Garcia, and good morning, trustees, colleagues, and COD community. Our classified appointments are Julie Adams, who was formerly appointed as an accompanist, although she has assisted the district in a substitute capacity and also as an adjunct faculty member. So she's not brand new, she's just formally appointed. We also have 2 promotions. Miguel Peña, who has been with us prior, he is now appointed to an information security officer. and Maritza Vaca, who was actually appointed to the lead admissions and record specialist, but was also formerly part of the COD community. Oh, there she is. Okay, thank you. We have also faculty appointments. We have Julio Luna, who is appointed to the criminal justice as instructor as a full-time appointment. He is a new employee to the district. And we have Michael McHale, who was newly appointed in January as a tenure track sociology instructor. Michael has worked with us as an adjunct faculty in sociology and had previously held the full-time temp assignment prior to his appointment. So welcome everyone, and congratulate all the appointments, and thank you for our longstanding employees for the dedication to the institution. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Vice President Galindo, and congratulations to our newest employees. We're happy to have you. Next, we have item 4.02, our National Athletic Training Proclamation. Acting President Martinez Garcia, can you please help us introduce these next items?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll ask Vice President Burrell to do that introduction.
Good morning, Chair Kinnaman, Board of Trustees, Acting President Martinez Garcia. I would like to invite Valerie Calderon, Athletic Director, or Trainer rather, and Jasmine Camarina Lopez to the podium to present the National Athletic Training Proclamation.
As athletic trainers have a long history of providing quality healthcare for athletes and those engaged in physical activity based on specific tasks, knowledge and skills acquired through their nationally regulated educational processes, and whereas athletic trainers provide prevention of injuries, recognition, evaluation and aggressive treatment, rehabilitation, healthcare administration, education and guidance, compassionate care for all, and whereas the Athletic Trainers Association represents and supports 44,000 members of the athletic training profession employed in the following settings: professional sports, colleges and universities, high schools, clinics and hospital, corporate and industrial settings, performing arts, military branches, and whereas leading organizations concerned with athletic training and healthcare have joined together in a common desire to raise public awareness of the importance of the athletic training profession and to emphasize the importance of quality healthcare within the aforementioned settings. And whereas such an effort will improve healthcare for athletes and those engaged in physical activity and promote athletic trainers as healthcare professionals. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District at its board meeting of February 21st, 2025, designate the month of March 2025 as National Athletic Training Month. The Board of Trustees urge everyone to learn more about the importance of athletic training. Be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees encourages the observance of National Athletic Training Month throughout the entire community college district. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie, and to our student reader, Jasmine. This proclamation is particularly exciting as renovations have begun on our stadium and our training center. So we're really excited about that. So thank you very much. I see Gary's about to jump out of his seat. So thank you. Yeah, thank you for all that. The next proclamation that we have today, Mr. Chair, is Women's History Month. And I would like to ask Interim Vice President Phillips to do that introduction.
Thank you. And I'd like to call on Dean Carlos Maldonado to please introduce our student reader.
Thank you, Vice President Phillips. Good morning, Mr. Chair, board members, President Martinez Garcia, executive cabinet, and guests. I have the honor of introducing the reader of the Desert Community College District Proclamation for Women's History Month, Ms. Giselle Sanchez. Giselle is a first-generation Mexican-American student who grew up in Los Angeles. She graduated as valedictorian from New Village Girls Academy in 2020 and moved to the Coachella Valley in 2021. After taking a gap year to work and reflect on her goals, Giselle returned to her academic journey, enrolling at College of the Desert in 2022 as a full-time student. Throughout her time at COD, Giselle has demonstrated a strong commitment to leadership and community service. She is currently in her second year as a College Core Fellow. contributing over 450 hours of service to combat food insecurity and promote community resilience. Additionally, she serves as the Officer of External Affairs for the Associated Students of College of the Desert and is a student delegate for the Student Senate for California Community Colleges. As a student worker at the Dreamer Resource Center, Giselle supports her peers while continuing to gain valuable experience. She is also completing an internship at KESQ, building on her passion for production and media. Giselle will graduate this semester with 3 Associates of Arts degrees in film, media, and television, sociology, and anthropology. Looking ahead, Giselle plans to transfer to a 4-year university in the fall of 2025 to pursue a bachelor's degree in film and sociology. Her ultimate goal is to work in production and directing for major film studios such as Universal or Warner Brothers. Giselle's commitment to education, leadership, and community impact reflects her dedication to uplifting underrepresented voices and serving as a role model for the Coachella Valley. Please help me welcome to the dais, Ms. Giselle Sanchez.
Whereas women of every race, class, and ethnic background have made historic contributions to the growth and strength of the United States in countless recorded and unrecorded ways, whereas women have played and continue to play critical economic, cultural, and social role in every sphere of the life of the nation by constituting a significant portion of both the economic health and prosperity and domestic tranquility. Whereas women have played a unique role throughout the history of the nation by providing the majority of the volunteering that occurs in the United States. Whereas women were particularly important in the establishment of early charitable, philanthropic, and cultural institutions in our nation. Whereas women in the United States served as early leaders in the forefront of every major progressive social change movement. Whereas women have served our country courageously in the military, whereas women have been leaders not only in securing their own rights of suffrage and equal opportunity, but also in the abolitionist movement, the emancipation movement, the industrial labor movement, the civil rights movement, and other movements which create a more fair and just society for all. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Desert Community College District at its board meeting of February 21, 2025, designate March 2025 as Women's History Month. Be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees encourages observance of Women's History Month with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As now the only woman on the board, I had to make a comment.
Trustee Sanchez, apologies. Can you please turn on your mic? Thank you.
As the only woman on the board, I just wanted to make a comment, a quote, "Remember the dignity of your womanhood. Do not appeal, do not beg, do not grovel. Take courage, join hand, and stand beside us." Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee Sanchez Fulton. Also, thank you, Carlos, and thank you, Giselle. That was wonderful. We really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much. And at this time, we'll move to agenda item 5.01, approval of the regular meeting minutes. Are there any additions, corrections, or deletions to the regular meeting minutes of January 17th, 2025? Okay, if there are no corrections to the minutes, they stand approved as presented. We will now move into our reports. Associated Students of College of the Desert, ASCOD.
Good morning, Board of Trustees. ASCOD is excited to be back from the break in full swing for the spring semester. Over the past month, in addition to fulfilling our core duties of student representation, many of our members of ASCOD have engaged in outreach activities and participated in events such as Black Student Success Center. There's an event for Black History Month. Next week, we will be holding Club Rush, an event aimed at connecting students with campus clubs and organizations. This event will take place both at the Indio and Palm Desert campuses, marking one of our first major events at the new Indio campus. We are eager to continue involving all of our COD campuses in our outreach. That is all. Thank you.
Caden, thank you very much. College of the Desert Foundation, Catherine Abbott, our foundation executive director.
Board Chair Kinnaman, at this moment, we didn't receive a report from Kathy for this month.
Okay, great. Thank you. California School Employees Association, CSEA. Omar, are you with us? Okay, there you are. Hi.
Good morning, Acting Superintendent President Martinez Garcia, Board of Trustees, and Vice Presidents. The month of January was a little crazy. The start of the spring 2025 semester, we had several changes in our federal government that had us constantly adjusting to what was headed our way. Through it all, we banded together to keep our students and staff both safe and informed. CSEA will continue to stand strong and provide support services for students at all of our campuses and to our fellow CSEA unions in the Coachella Valley. We would like to thank President Martinez Garcia for his weekly positive messages and recognition of the hard work that all employees are doing across the college. Our members appreciated the tasty lunch that was served by Executive Cabinet on January 31st. They were grateful for the opportunity to spend time with coworkers and other COD staff while hoping the raffle ticket was pulled. The week-long loss of heat in the Cravens, Communications, Nursing, and Liberal Arts building, and the year-long lack of heat in student life. It is unfortunate that it took days to receive notice that there was a heating problem, as many people sent emails, made phone calls, and submitted work orders, yet they received no answers. Our members deserve answers and daily updates. We also want to remind the district that the well-being of our members is a top priority for CSEA. Being asked to sit in offices that are below the OSHA recommended temperatures should also be addressed with tips about cold weather safety, extra breaks to get up and move around, space heaters, and reminders to stay hydrated. Recently, three of our e-board members took a road trip to the Indio campus to meet with classified members and strengthen our bonds. We shared lunch while listening to their concerns, ideas, goals, and accomplishments. It's inspiring and encouraging to see how this group of classified members support each other so that their services continue to excel. We know that you cannot see them watching this meeting today. However, trust me, they are there. Please take a moment to recognize them for standing strong to the continued construction and parking situations while still providing excellent service and going beyond their duties to support the students and their community. As the board is aware, CSEA contract is currently expired. We would like to share our renewed optimism of finalizing our contract with you. During the last meeting or two, CSEA and the districts have made a joint effort to solidify language that will benefit the district, classified staff, and the community we serve. We look forward to finalizing the contract and sharing it with the Board of Trustees and our members in the near future. We know you can do it. As always, we truly appreciate the support we receive from Board of Trustees. Special shout out to Trustee Kinnaman, Trustee Sanchez Fulton, Trustee Perez for always acknowledging classified staff needs. CSEA looks forward to building a relationship with our trustee mayor. This concludes my report. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, College of the Desert Adjunct Association, Catherine Levitt, and Irene, we have no report or?
Yes, that's correct, Chair Kinnaman. No report
Okay.
this month from CODA.
Okay, great, thank you. Next, we have College of the Desert Faculty Association, Oceana Collins or Leif?
It'll be Dr. Leif today.
Thank you. I'm the less good-looking member of the union team. Excuse me. Good morning, Acting President Superintendent Martinez Garcia, trustees, and the College of the Desert community. As we usher in this spring semester, I'd like to take a moment to reflect on the progress we've all made and the challenges that still lie ahead. It is heartening to witness the positive momentum here at College of the Desert as we continue to strive for excellence in education and to support our diverse student body. First and foremost, I would like to extend my gratitude to the Dreamer Resource Center for their unwavering commitment to our students and faculty. In the face of the ongoing fluctuations at the federal level regarding immigration policies, the center provides a crucial support system that fosters a sense of stability and assurance for the most affected. The work they do not only empowers our Dreamer students, but enriches the broader college community as well, ensuring that we uphold our values of inclusivity and support. In parallel with this, the Black Student Success Center has been actively engaged in commemorating Black History Month through a series of events that not only honor the past, but also inspire future generations. These initiatives are vital in fostering us preparing to enter into negotiations with the district. In addition to our usual compensation and benefits, an important focal point of this year's negotiation is Article 12, our hours of service. The implications of this article extend way beyond just our contractual obligation. It directly influences the working conditions of our faculty, and by extension, the education of our students. It is essential that we approach these negotiations collaboratively and with a focus on achieving a fair and productive outcome that benefits all our stakeholders. Despite these promising developments, we must also address some challenges that we all face, in particularly the concern of the robot or bot student problem. Fraudulent accounts have been noted that fraudulent enrollments have significantly impacted enrollment in multiple classes, presenting a hurdle to our enrollment goals, to reaching our enrollment goals. We do acknowledge that the IT department, thank you, has been diligently working on solutions that will help mitigate these issues. And I should also mention that our Academic Senate is also working on a resolution as well. And we commend all these efforts, but we still need to do more. In closing, as we embark into this new semester, let us remain steadfast in our commitment to excellence, inclusivity, and support for all members of our College of the Desert community. Together, we can build on our successes to address our challenges and foster an environment where everyone can thrive. Respectfully submitted on behalf of Oceana Collins. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, our Academic Senate President, Corbin Wild.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so the ACCJC has reaffirmed College of the Desert's accreditation for 18 months. That's really, really good news. It means our doors stay open, our students stay on track, and our community can count on us. But let's be clear, they did not give us a free pass. They will be coming back by March 1st, 2026, so we can submit a follow-up report and they can do a peer review visit. The reaffirmation is a direct result of the hard work and dedication of our faculty, classified professionals, and administrators, people who show up every day, put students first, and make the college what it is. In fact, the ACCJC commended COD for its academic programs, student support services, and community partnerships. Our distance education program was recognized for its rigorous faculty training, POCR certification, and strong engagement in online learning. If you'd like to learn more about that, Donna Green and Cora Layton would be happy to help you. Our workforce development initiatives in nursing, automotive, and hospitality were also highlighted as models of success. That's what's working. Our faculty and our staff are working. But there are things that do need urgent attention. The ACCJC identified serious governance issues. And they did not mince words. The issues include board cohesion. The board must function as a unified body, standing by its decisions once they are made. Board evaluation. The board must consistently conduct self-evaluations and use them to improve governance. Delegation of authority. The board must let the CEO do the job they were hired to do without interference. These are not minor recommendations at all. These are fundamental expectations of not only accreditation, but collegiality. Failure to address them puts our college and ultimately our students at risk. While these governance challenges persist, faculty and staff have continued to do what they do best. We uphold excellence in education. Our curriculum remains rigorous and relevant, preparing students for careers and transfer. Our commitment to student learning outcomes assessment drives continuous improvement, and our faculty-led professional development ensures instructional quality remains at the highest standards. Our academic senate has a track record of collaboration and effective problem solving, and we will continue to share the work we have been commended for with the board. We will also share the ways in which we continue to innovate and prepare for our next full accreditation visit. But let's be absolutely clear, the burden of fixing these recommendations does not lie on faculty and staff. It lies on the board. The Academic Senate is charging the board with reporting out regularly on what they are actively doing to address these concerns. Transparency is not optional in this case. It is a necessity. This isn't about optics, it's about accreditation, it's about stability, and it's about trust. It's about our students more than anything else. We expect to see clear, documented steps toward improved board cohesion, regular and meaningful self-evaluations that lead to demonstrable change, behavior that we can point to as models for our students. These are the things ACCJC asked of us as faculty and staff, and we provided. We would like the board to do the same. As you consider what to share in your own board reports, please focus less on your social events and more on what you're doing to ensure that we remain accredited in the future. College of the Desert has a legacy of excellence, built by the faculty, staff, and students who truly believe in its mission. We will continue that work. We will continue to lead in academic innovation, student success, and institutional effectiveness, and we really look forward to working with you in that endeavor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, our student trustee is not with us, so we'll move on to Trustee Sanchez.
So first and foremost, let's celebrate the new spring semester for our faculty and our staff, being mindful of this spring semester and being kind, as I always say, to our faculty and to our students. I apologize for not attending the Flex workshop. I have, when I was serving as a Board of Trustees for over, I would never miss, not one, but I did. So, but I did see it over Zoom. So I think I wanted to be there in person, but I was on flight to the training of the Board of Trustees. So our colleague, the fellow board members, and I went to the California Community College Elected Board of Trustees workshops on board governance. It was very, very a refresher course, so needed. I learned so much just on governance, on policy, what we can do to bring unity to our college campus. It was very, very enlightening. Also, having the ability to meet with other trustees and doing best practices on governance and policy and our role as Board of Trustees. Last Wednesday, I attended the subcommittee that my board of the foundation. It was very interesting to say because I got to hear what our faculty are doing, especially Walt Myers, a big shout out about our new paramedic program. I learned a lot, and I would love to see a study session to learn more about this phenomenal 12-week course on our non-credit side. I want to give a big shout out to Sarah, Walt Myers, and the whole team who put this together just on the non-credit. It takes a lot. As a former faculty member here at the college, I know how long it takes to put this together, and we're launching it in March. So those watching, great work. And hopefully we can bring this program on the credit side. Just want to mention something that alarmed me was the cost. That was something that I was thinking for the students. I was told, and maybe I'm wrong, the cost was about $13,000, pretty pricey. So hopefully we could figure out a way how we could make this more affordable for the students. So I think that was quite alarming to hear the actual cost of that program. And we need paramedics in our community. So, and I also want to give a shout out to Eisenhower Hospital for partnering with the College of the Desert to bring these life-saving skill sets to the Coachella Valley. February 6th, I attended a student-run marketplace and art opening. Our students need to talk about their talents. I think it's such a great venue when students come to our college and want to share what they have to offer, their wares, their talents. It's amazing to see them, how happy they are coming and sharing them. And it was just it was the art opening of the Moon and Stars in the Desert, and it goes from February 6th to March 28th. I was here at the college with the Black History Month when all the college at the Quad came together. We had trio department, we had the financial aid department, Ascot was there, live music. This is when the college comes together, when we put on these events for the community, for the students, for Black History Month. It was phenomenal, and congratulations to the faculty who not only teach the staff, but they make sure that they attend. It was wonderful to see a lot of the come. So I remember when I was teaching at the college, you're taking time out of your work and then you come out and talk with the students. It's wonderful. Also attended, I want to give out to, very dear to my heart is always financial aid. Having been a student of financial aid, it was wonderful to attend with a family member, a student. They're afraid, and you all made them feel just not afraid when they come in with their family. And as if we remember back when I was 18 years old, it was so daunting when financial aid, where do I go? And it was great that the financial team kind of just lowered their fear at these great events of financial aid nights. I would love to see more in person because there were some students that were unable to attend, but it was a really great event to see the parents, the students on financial aid. And just really quickly, I'm so sorry, but it was just a busy month here. We attended all the trustees, the effective trustee conference, and I also was able, most humbly, to attend the ACCT conference. I was very worried, scared. That's how I felt for our students, our faculty, and our staff, especially our dreamers, with the safety of the college. When I was in Washington, D.C., and I have a handout for everyone. Also, I want everyone to see our priorities. Whether it's through Pell Grants, institutional aid, or workforce development programs, the federal government still has a significant impact on us, all community colleges. So after going to Capitol Hill, the takeaway that we got, and I'm sure Trustee Myers will talk about it, is that we have partners that are representative. We're part of the California delegation to meet with Senator Alex Padilla and Senator Adam Schiff, and they are concerned. I just want to tell everyone, they are concerned about us, about all the colleges in California. So my fear, the worry that I kept on calling Val, what are we going to do to keep the safety over? What are we going to, it was just, I'm okay. Because I know the takeaway is that we will be meeting with our representatives and getting firsthand information on what's going on in Capitol Hill. They have made a commitment to the College of the Desert to keep us informed about our rights and what we're doing for our students. So we spoke with the higher educational specialists on the Hill, and our takeaway was strengthening the work of behalf of all students and feeling safe that their financial is not going to go away, that their Pell Grants, and that was one of the questions, one of the trustees, how are we going to pay for college? So we're there, and that's why we're here as trustees to serve the students and that our faculty feel safe. We have to, this is something that we're I know you have my and our board, we're here to, that you feel safe. I'm really looking forward to the Ag Tech and Seed Project coming on. Another note, on upcoming workshops, I'm really looking forward to attending the Seed Project at COD, the Ag Tech, and it's vibrant in our community. I'm just letting faculty get involved. Don't just teach. I was a part-time faculty member at COD, and I got involved in different committees. So it's good. It's a shameless plug, but I think get involved. You teach and make it a part of that COD family. I got my start here, and I'll never forget that. So get involved at COD, and I want to give a big shout out to the Task and English Department for partnering and hosting various variety workshops for our students. I don't want to take up time. Thank you so much.
Trustee Meyer.
Thank you, Trustee Kinnaman. President Val, fellow trustees, College of the Letters community, good morning. As you will hear later in my report, I attended 2 conferences as a trustee. The goal for me was to learn more about my duties as a trustee and network with my fellow trustees in California and across the country. For me, this was very educational and caused me to think of what we as trustees do to execute our roles. To that end, I have 4 concepts to present. Number 1, as a follow-up to action taken at the last meeting, ensuring the integrity of the President Selection Committee, I am recommending that anyone with knowledge or information of the previous search committee breach and potentially could be involved in the investigation into the breach should not be on the newly formed search committee, and if so, should recuse themselves. 2, the college should not open a search or hire any permanent executive level roles at this time. This action should be left to the new president superintendent, as that person can then pick whomever they want to work alongside him or her. 3, the chair of the board and acting president needs to call a retreat with the board to discuss and build a plan addressing the accreditation recommendations. It has been well over a month since the report was released by the ACCJC, and we have no plan to build the plan to address the board issues put forward by the accrediting group. We also need to develop a true board self-evaluation process. I would like the board to consider a policy that requires a gap of 8 to 10 years for any executive from the College of the Desert to become a trustee in the college. This will help in the process of demonstrating to the ACCJC, the accrediting board, that we are reducing the possibility of the executive faculty coming back to the board quickly enough so that their relationships created while in the previous executive position are in place to be used to be working with the college in an operational role. This policy would also allow time for that person to segue into the mindset of policymaker versus manager. That being said, here's what I've been up to. I attended McCallum board meetings on January 21st and February 17th. Many agenda items. I could spend an hour with that and bore you to tears, but let me hit some highlights. They included nominations and ratification of new board members. But very interestingly, they've exceeded their goals for the year with 122 performances. Their goal was 117. Revenues of 9.2 million. I believe that's ticket sales. Ron, is that what they talked about? Versus 8.8 million. So they're really on a roll. I also personally toured the Indio and Mecca Thermal campuses. Wow, Mecca Thermal is not trailers, guys. If you drive by, it looks like it, you need to go. They're very nice and modern classrooms and the campus in Mecca Thermal. In Indio, the new building obviously is very nice, awesome. But what was intriguing to me was the Child Development Center. Very thoughtfully, very well put together. I toured the both sides, the children's side as well as the adult side. and it was done very well. I thank Dr. Enders for a wonderful afternoon. Palm Desert campus tour. I just recently did that. What a wonderful way to spend time learning more about the campus and what it offers to the students. Everyone I met is so enthusiastic about the college and its curriculum. Matter of fact, both campuses, anybody I met says, please stop by anytime, come visit us anytime. So I have an open invitation, too many to take advantage of, but I'll do that. Thank you to Eddie and Eva from the foundation for spending the morning with me. As my fellow trustees and Val, I attended the Triple CLC conference in Sacramento. We were all there. This is a very good step in orienting me as a new trustee. While there, I also registered for trustee certification. I'm already 75% complete in that process. After that, I attended a webinar on the board's role in student success. The key takeaway was focusing on student success by adopting modern, up-to-date policies to enhance the students' learning processes and offering courses that match their expectations, but also create a safe and welcoming environment for them to be on campus. Trustee Sanchez Fulton and I attended the ACC Legislative Conference in Washington, D.C. I don't know about you, trustee, but I flew out in the snow. I got out okay. While there, we personally met Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz and his staff. Great connections there, very supportive, as you heard earlier. We also met staff who cover education for Senators Schiff and Padilla and had great conversations about COD. So we have good connections there now. And we did the same on a drop-in on Congressman Calvert's staff. So across the board, we met not only the legislators, but the aides that support them only about education. And so we'll continue those connections. We attended a briefing by Schiff and Padilla, which you heard about earlier. And the message from them is very supportive. Also made some contacts via apprenticeship programs and AI programs, which I've already forwarded some of this into Acting President Val, and we'll be moving forward in those areas, I believe. Also recently attended a social media mental health clinic at Annenberg Pavilion at Eisenhower. The students from Coachella Valley High School were challenged to research and find out the impact of social media on mental health. Wonderful presentation. While there, I met an emergency room physician who made a comment to me, and we're following up on it. He claims, Acting President Val and I still have to research this, that we can create a 3-year pathway to medical school here at the college. That would be very important, maybe a physician's program. Stay tuned on that one. Personally, Maria and I are hosting an exchange student from Japan. Wonderful experience. We picked up a very nice young lady from the college on February 6th. To date, she has volunteered for Tour de Palm Springs. We've taken her to the Firebirds game. She went to the Date Festival. A field trip to Los Angeles and Santa Monica is scheduled today. She's on the tram going up to the snow. And she even had dinner at In-N-Out twice. Thank you, Cody McCabe, for putting this wonderful program together.
Yes.
And thank you I'm done.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Congratulations to all on the beginning of spring semester. Welcome back to our students and good luck to everyone this semester. Last month, I had the opportunity of attending the Triple CT Effective Trustee Workshop in Sacramento with my colleagues. Some workshops resonated more than others, but I hope to use the tools that I learned to serve this institution to the best of my ability as I'm still learning and growing. And quite frankly, some of that growth is happening before your eyes. I was only 25 when I first got elected. So I'm still learning and I'm still growing in my role. It was also great to be there with all my fellow trustees in order to build camaraderie. I'm looking forward to working with you all in order to best serve our students and to meet the requirements and recommendations by the Accreditation Board. Finally, I want to commend our leadership team, our instructors, counselors, classified staff for ensuring that we don't waver on our commitment to DEI. College of the Desert is your home regardless of your background and will continue to be that home and safe place for yourselves and your families. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Trustee Perez. Trustee Oden.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair, President, uh, faculty, and those who are present. I too attended the conference with the League of California, the Community Colleges of California. So I won't really say anything about that because everyone's probably covered it. But I attended several webinars. The Board of Trustees' responsibility for student success was outstanding. And also the future of diversity. And in the past week, I attended 3 different webinars on the Dear Colleague letter. For those in the public who aren't aware, it came from the Department of Education, which gave colleges and universities 14 days to comply with who knows what. And I say that because, generally speaking, if you receive a letter, I mean, I'm not an attorney, but you would expect that letter to clarify issues. It didn't clarify anything. As a matter of fact, it was obvious the intentionality of the confusion that it caused. There were people from all over the country trying to understand this webinar, asking questions about how do we comply? And of course, some people were afraid and immediately tried to comply. There are those who were in red states and blue states and trying to figure out what they can or should or should not do in regards to the programs that they offer. It raises questions about a lot of programs, women's colleges, disabilities, of course, all the racial and ethnic programs, religious institutions. It didn't really answer any of those things, just raised more questions about, well, what does this mean? How do I comply with this? And let's face it, how many things is it possible for any educational institution to comply with in 14 days? You know, it's fairly ridiculous. But it brought me comfort to know that at least I live in a state that's taking a stand on some of these issues. The educators in some of the other states, my heart just went out to them as listening to their frustration and their fears, because the intentionality of the letter was to instill fear and to cause confusion. And with that, they were extremely successful. I would like for Trustee Meyer to repeat the number 1 from your response, because I would like to make a comment on that. I just want to make sure that I heard what he said correctly. Go ahead.
As a follow-up to action taken at the last meeting, ensuring the integrity of the Presidential Selection Committee, I'm recommending that anyone with knowledge or information of the previous search committee breach and potentially could be involved in the investigation into the breach should not be on the newly formed search committee, and if so, should recuse themselves.
Do we have legal here today?
Chair Kinnaman, we do have Eileen O'Hare, who is on Zoom.
I have a question for Eileen.
I'm looking at are we okay together, Carlos, at this time, or?
My understanding is we are in the report section of the agenda.
Okay. Well, it's important that if we respond to something, that it might put us in a litigious situation. So we need some counsel.
Is Eileen guess I should ask you, are you aware of an agenda item in closed session, or are we going to?
Well, I'll go ahead and respond. We had two professionals who said that in their career, they had never dealt with a breach. So that already puts us in a unique environment that we've had a breach. But imagine that somehow someone with knowledge, let's say it's me, that I had knowledge, which I don't, of something that happened from the previous committee. And now I'm serving in the second committee. And we elect someone, we select a new president. And then people find out that once again, the same thing happened. What happens to our credibility as an institution? I guess first that would go to you, Eileen. And then, I mean, obviously it's more of a statement than a question, but legally that puts us in a situation, does it not?
Trustee Oden, I agree that your comment is that it is a comment more than it is a legal question. And second, it's very difficult for a lawyer to advise a board on a question such as that in open session.
Okay, and I appreciate that, but I think some things I'm saying to our trustees, we have to think about the future of this institution and our credibility as an organization and not exposing ourselves to anything. And with that, I just want to read what the report says. This is from the accreditation report. It says, during the focus, this is separate now from the breach, but it does respond to some of the things that the Academic Senate said. And it says, during the focus site visit, the team found that the survey and interview responses confirmed issues that have been ongoing and continue to be disruptive to the college operation through a lack of authentic delegation to the CEO. Understanding its policy role versus administrative, and has been a matter of the board's ability to give collective direction to the CEO. Look, the second part of what you said about us developing a program to absolutely address this is imperative. It's been on, the report says it was ongoing. So, well, we know it's not the new people, you know, but rather than to get into deductive reasoning, I think we just need to develop a plan and make sure that this stops now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Trustee Oden. And I'm not spend a lot of time talking about accreditation in my report. Actually, it's time to celebrate that we've been reaffirmed our accreditation. I know when I arrived at this district, we were in this very similar situation with recommendations, with a follow-up visit, and our next two times, we got the maximum accreditation. So for 14 years, we did not have recommendations. So I see this process as one of how are we being told we can improve upon what we're doing. And that's what accreditation is about. So let it be known, this institution has had its accreditation reaffirmed, and we have been guided to take initiatives to make us better and make us stronger. There I've been working with Active President Garcia. He's been working with staff to draft a work plan, and I've got a copy of that I was going to discuss more in our study session. The first steps is I will be appointing as chair a committee, an ad hoc committee for board development and dealing with the accreditation recommendations. We all did complete the ACCJC training in January, I believe it was. We have that to occur today as well. This ad hoc committee will need to help us document training already planned and completed, review and approve draft work plans and timelines, create a monitoring, tracking, reporting mechanism for documentation of progress against standards, particularly focused on meeting Standard 4 recommendations. Add regular agenda items to track progress against the plan, and that speaks to the transparency. The ad hoc committee to develop a final report on progress to address ACCJC recommendations for the Board of Trustees in December 2025, and for us to schedule board training and workshops on governance best practices, self-evaluation and setting board goals, participatory governance, educational master plan, college planning processes, and there may be others that ad hoc committee brings forward. Develop and adopt a board of trustees orientations and incorporate it into policy and practices. That comes under our board policy 2740 ACCJC recommendation 4C10. Develop and adopt board of trustees annual planning calendar. So I believe we have something in place as we develop an ad hoc committee that can walk us through this process and be very transparent on a monthly basis. I appreciate our acting president's work and his staff and giving some guidance on that. When we sit here and we talk about we went to conferences, sometimes we don't talk about topics, but Brown Act basics, effective trustee workshops, accreditation standards and vision for success, roles and responsibilities. There's a list that goes board and CEO relationships, et cetera. So a lot of training is taking place, but unless you're there, you may not see it. So I think it is important that we report it on a monthly basis. Hopefully today, after we have our training, my colleagues will have some time to reflect on this and determine their interest in being on an ad hoc committee, which would only be 2 trustees working with our acting president on moving forward on this so that we can make sure that we're demonstrating to the commission when they return why they're going to give us the maximum accreditation like they have in the past. With that, that concludes my report. And I would go to our acting superintendent, President Garcia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hello, Red Runner family. Hopefully everyone's doing really well. I'd like to first report at the close of the winter session, we've seen a significant increase in enrollment above 10% over the previous year. We are now 4 weeks into our spring semester with enrollments up. Thank you to the entire Roadrunner family for all your relentless pursuit of student success and achievement. Stay strong, everyone. You're doing a great job. Later this meeting, we'll hear from Melanie Shield, the ACCJC Vice President, about accreditation, purpose and process, roles, responsibilities, and expectations in meeting the standards. We look forward to this presentation discussion about how we can best move forward with the board with its continuous improvement efforts. This month, I'm excited to report to all of you the season openers for many of our athletic teams is underway, including golf, baseball, beach volleyball, and more. We are looking forward to another great year of competition for our Roadrunners. As again, I pointed out earlier, our facilities and the athletic side are in the midst of an exciting transformation. Following groundbreaking of a new state-of-the-art athletic center in December, that project is expected to be completed next summer. Also, I wanted everyone to know this Sunday, February 23rd, the Coachella Valley Classical Voices, comprised of local classically trained singers, will be presenting an afternoon of opera at the musical theater to raise money for the COD Music Department. I'd also like to extend to all of you some really exciting information that we have re-engaged with staff from the Austin Community College Accelerator. As a reminder, that program and its approach to learning is a Bellwether Award-winning best practice and one of the inspirations of our Palm Springs campus. They regularly provide tours to groups from around the world to showcase their innovation, award-winning programs, and facilities. We feel very fortunate that we were able to resume our partnership with them, and we look forward to visiting them very soon as we explore the possibilities of Palm Springs. And lastly, as you might know, Black History Month holds a profound significance as it serves to recognize and celebrate the rich history of culture and contributions of African Americans. It is a time-honored tradition that we celebrate these achievements of individuals who have shaped the course of history, often in the face of adversity and systemic discrimination. This month-long observation offers an important opportunity to educate, reflect, and remember the struggles and triumphs of the Black community. It highlights the importance of understanding the past to build a more equitable and inclusive future. By acknowledging the contributions of Black leaders, artists, scientists, and activists, we not only pay tribute to their legacy, but also inspire future generations to continue to fight for justice and equality. Black History Month reminds us that the history of the African Americans is an integral part of the broader American narrative. It encourages us to confront the injustices of our past, our present, and hopefully those that don't exist but probably will in our future. So that we can foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of diversity and the ongoing pursuit of civil rights. I would like to thank all the students, faculty, and staff at the College of the Desert's Black Student Success Center for providing informative and important programming this month in celebration and recognition of the achievements and the contributions of African Americans who helped make our country's democracy great and who have helped contribute to and always will contribute to the greatness of America. Thank you very much.
This time, the board will now recess closed session. The live feed of this meeting.
Trustee Kinnaman, could you, apologies, can you please turn on your mic? Thank you.
The board will now recess to closed session. The live feed of this meeting will continue. Board members and Acting President Martinez Garcia, I ask that you please join. Let's see what time we have. 10:45.
10:33 a.m.
Okay, I ask that we reconvene in closed session at 10:50. Again, thank you. And when we return, we will continue with the rest of our agenda. Stand adjourned. We stand in recess.
Okay, are we good, Steve? All right, perfect. Board Chair Kinnaman? Okay, okay.
We're calling our meeting back in order at 10:56. Thank you. We're moving on to consent agenda. All consent items will be voted on in one motion. Any board member may request that any items be moved to the action agenda. Are there any requests to separately consider any of the consent agenda items? Okay, seeing none, then
I move to move the consent agenda.
Second.
we have a first and a second discussion. Okay, roll call vote. Acting Vice President Garcia.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Yes.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving on to our action item 12.0, regular board of meetings, regular board of trustees meeting scheduled for 2025-26. Do I have a motion to approve the proposed meeting schedule for 2025-26 regular board meetings in alignment with board policy 2310?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Discussion?
Yes. Maybe, I see that it's always at Building C boardroom. I would love to see it in the other areas of the district. As always, maybe in the east, Desert Hot Spring, different areas. I would love to really see that we go to our constituents and our communities. Thank you.
Additional discussion on?
I think that's a good idea. Do we need to bring that up? Bring it up again and vote on it, or how would we go about that process?
Carlos, would that be an amendment or?
Yeah, you would need to amend the location of the meeting that you would want to have at that location, and you need to specify where the location would be. You also have the option of doing some reflection and then coming back with another motion at a different time. So you have both options.
So if it came back, would we could defer to staff as far as recommending dates for
Correct.
approval, but approve it as is and then bring it back? Is that
correct? So right now, what you would do is approve as it is, and with the understanding that you will be expecting a recommendation for it to be at a different district site, and then that would come back as another motion.
okay?
In the location, maybe we should amend to TBD, to be sure. I don't know how we could word that, so it would not be so, because right now what we're doing is we're in the discussion item, and then we're going to approve what it says, the dates, the time, and the actual location. So maybe amend it to, how could we say that, Carlos? TBD, to be determined, or just to make it a little more, we have that wiggle room to change that?
Would you like me to answer?
Yes, please.
Yes. So right now, what you're approving is what is presented in front of you. You could do a TBD. It would be, it doesn't resolve the issue, which is it still would need to come back for an adoption of the location.
Okay.
Right. So the only way to expedite this and do it in one movement would be to select which one you would want to have at what location. And as you know, it has to be an exact room number. And so it may be time to allow staff to reflect, to see what makes sense, and then come back with a recommendation.
And then Mr. Chair, we would also have to make sure of accommodations and projection and all of those things. Yeah.
Right, and I think we all recognize getting out in the community would be good for us. And this is just part of the discussion again. We've also heard trustees recommend that we have some additional types of meetings, like whether it's development, whether it's a retreat, et cetera. Even those could be designated potentially at other sites. I don't know.
Yeah, like informational meetings or forums or something like that. Is that what you're
That's what I'm
referring to?
Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and then do you have an amendment or?
Yes, I do. If it would be that in this, of my other board, I would love to see something in Indio. Is there a trustee also that also represents India? Would love to see it at, maybe you could make a recommendation. I would love to see it also in Desert Hot Springs. So is there any other trustee that would like to see that maybe in October? We could do it Indio? I don't know. I'm just bringing that before my fellow board members.
Yeah, I'd like to actually make an amended motion
Thank
to
you.
approve the dates as presented with the option for staff to come back and give us potential locations in the future.
Thank you. That's good.
Okay,
That's an
so,
amendment.
That's an amended motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
okay, so we have what's presented in front of us being amended with staff coming back and proposing additional locations for our consideration.
Correct.
Okay, great. All right, then with that on the table, roll call vote, Acting President Martinez Garcia.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Yes.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
So you've adopted the amendment now, sir. So you will now have discussion on the improved motion, and then you would take another vote.
Okay. Thank you for whispering across the room at me. I couldn't hear you though. Walk me through this, Carlos.
You've just improved the motion, so now it includes trustee Perez's amendment. So any discussion on the entirety?
Okay. Any additional discussion on the entirety?
Can we have some clarification as to why some of them are on Thursdays?
I might be able to help that. I researched that. Sometimes it's school holidays. Sometimes it conflicts with conferences or other things the board or even the president, acting president might attend. So they take that into consideration.
Thank you for that, trustee Meyer.
Well said. That was good.
Any additional discussion? All right, then if we can have a roll call vote, Acting President Garcia.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, item 12.02. Board policies, second reading. Do I have a motion to approve board policies 2110, 2305, and 2360 as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, seeing none. Roll call vote, Acting President Martinez Garcia.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden, trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 13, action item, human resources, public employment, tenure review. Do I have a motion to approve 13.01 as presented?
So move.
Second.
Any discussion?
Before we move, I'd like to say something. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate all the faculty who are going through the current tenure process, whether you're at the very beginning of your journey or you're at the end of your tenure journey. I know it's been a long haul for some of you from where you are to where you sit today, and we're very proud of you. I would like to ask Vice President of Instruction, Mr. Burrell, to recognize 13 members of our faculty who were just awarded tenure via this action, or will be via this action.
Thank you, Acting President Martinez Garcia. If the following faculty are present, will you please stand? Rosa Marina Acosta, Associate Professor of Architecture. Andrew Ellman, Assistant Professor of Sociology. Beth Allen Bentley, Associate Professor of Business. Victoria Batista, Assistant Professor of Counseling. Jeannie Carey, Professor of Music. Adrienne Casas, Associate Professor of Health Sciences. Gwendolyn Earl, Associate Professor of Business. Mary Eden, Instructor. Counseling Black Student Success Center.
Good.
Robert Kelbley, Associate Professor of Computer Science. Lakeisha McKenzie, Assistant Professor of Sociology. Mary Suarez, Associate Professor of Simulation, Registered Nursing.
Yeah.
Surya Vasquez, Professor of Spanish. And lastly, Elizabeth Walker, Professor of Political Science.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah, this honor is a testament to the dedicated work in your classes and the valuable impact you have on our students. Thank you for your years of dedication, work, and we look forward to having you on campus, continuing to be positive and have positive impacts on our students, their lives, and the communities which they come from. I just want to say congratulations to all of you and thank you for all you do every day for our students.
Yeah.
So.
Congratulations.
Now the roll call vote, I'll take it. Student Trustee Robles, Trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Of course.
Trustee Meyer,
Certainly, yes.
Trustee Perez, Trustee Oden,
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Yes, and congratulations.
Motion carries.
All right, moving on to 1302, Public Employee Appointment Director. We will now consider item 13.02 on the agenda, wherein it is recommended that the board approve the employment agreement for the Director, Kinesiology and Athletics. This recommended action will approve the employment agreement for the Director of Kinesiology and Athletics commencing on February 24th through 2025 through June 30th, 2027, with a salary placement at range 9, column 4, for an annual salary of $132,000. And I've got an extra decimal or an extra number in mind.
593.
Is it 593? Okay, 132,593 and 65 cents. As well as provisions for evaluation and fringe benefits comparable to other similar leadership employees. Do I have a motion to approve the employment agreement as presented?
Second.
Do I have any discussion? Okay, roll call vote, acting.
Sorry, just for the
Oh,
record.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, just for the record, it's 132,059.
059.
Yeah, 059.
Okay.
Sorry.
Great,
Just one
thank
for
you
the
very
record.
much.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, that's 0.65, right?
0.652 because it's a CalSTRS position, so it requires a third decimal point.
Carlos, do we need to do anything? Was that just an error, correction?
Just an error.
Okay, that's right. Okay, did we do the roll call vote? Now I'm lost.
Do it right now.
Okay, thank you.
You got it. Student Trustee Robles, Trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
Trustee Meyer,
Aye.
Trustee Perez,
Aye.
Trustee Oden,
Aye.
Trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 13.03, Public Employee Appointment, Interim Vice President, Administrative Services. We will now consider item 13.03 on the agenda, wherein it is recommended that the board approve the employment agreement for the interim vice president of administrative services. This recommended action will approve the employment agreement commencing on February 24th, 2025 through February 23rd, 2026. Pursuant to Government Code 54953CA, summary of the terms of the agreement includes an annual base salary of $281,725.68, reflective of range 15, column 7 of the leadership salary schedule, as well as provisions for evaluation and fringe benefits comparable to other similar leadership employees for this role. Do I have a motion to approve the employment agreement as presented?
Aye.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Action item 14.01, budget revisions. Do I have a motion to approve the 2024-2025 budget revisions as presented?
Very important.
So move. So move.
Do I have a second?
Second. Go ahead.
Okay, any discussion?
There wasn't much revision. Looks like,
Okay, roll call vote.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Item 14.02, 2025-2026, non-resident tuition and capital outlay student fees. Do I have a motion to approve 14.02 as presented?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I do. The capital student fees, I'm always thinking about the students and their student fees. Can someone just, our student services, just a little about is this average? Is this, are we, yeah,
I'm going to defer to Interim Vice President Phillips.
Thank you. Actually, the district used a new methodology for determining the non-resident student tuition for this year. Every year, there's a methodology that, sort of supports several different levels. We did select the methodology that allowed us to put forward the lowest possible non-resident tuition, even though it is an increase from the year over year. So what we were allowed to do by methodology is take sort of an average percentage increase and apply it to last year's non-resident tuition, which results in the proposal that we have now. Every other methodology did result in a higher number. So this is the recommendation that we use the methodology to allow us to apply the average percentage increase over the last few years to last year's in order to come up with the proposal for next year.
Thank you.
Okay, any other discussion? Roll call vote.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14.03, certification of signatures. Do I have a motion to approve 14.03 as presented?
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call vote.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 14.04, resolution number 02212-1, authorized signatures. Do I have a motion to approve 14.04 as presented?
So move.
Do I have a second? Thank you.
Second.
Any discussion? All right, roll call vote.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, item 14.05, notice of intent to award a contract for bid number 43-98W-0500-RRM-REBID, bid package number 26, shoring and retaining walls for the Roadrunner Motors project. Do I have a motion to approve 14.05 as presented?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Carlos, can I second this? I'll second it. Discussion.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to see these moving forward also be published in our local newspaper, the Desert Sun, as well as other local media. And then I'd like to bring back the suggestion that I made a couple of months ago regarding us hosting a workshop, inviting local developers, companies, construction companies, whatever you want to call it, in order to teach them what the best process would be in order for them to receive these bids as well.
Additional discussion?
Yes. Is this impacting the schedule for Roadrunner Motors?
Robert, can you come up? Thank you.
Good morning, Chair Kinnaman, trustees. Well, yes, the short answer is yes, it has had a profound impact on the project schedule. A little backstory so that we all understand. We worked hand in hand with the City of Cathedral City to minimize that delay, but there was an outside third-party entity who elected not to allow the district reciprocal access to their property for the purpose of building construction walls right on the property line. Because of that, the project was delayed. However, we have our contractor kickoff meeting on the 24th, and we are finally getting moving. So, silver lining.
How long of a delay? Do you have a new ETA of?
We've got
grand
approximately 5 months of total delay at this point, and we'll be looking at ways to recover that. Our hope is now that we bring the contractors on board officially, we'll do what's called full planning, where we get all of their input and we devise the best recovery schedule to get back some of that time.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, did you not say that at one of our previous meetings that you have a program where you develop or help local vendors to apply for projects, studies?
We do, and we did use that program with this project as with all the others. Okay. However, you can never have enough outreach, so we think it's a great idea to keep doing it.
More?
Thank you.
Okay. Any more discussion, my colleagues? All right, let's do a roll call vote. Thank you.
Student trustee Robles, trustee Sanchez Fulton, trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Resolution, item 14.06, resolution number 022125-2, approving new market tax credit financing transaction for the construction of the Roadrunner Motors and taking of certain actions with respect thereto. Do I have a motion to approve item 14.06?
So moved.
Second.
All right, any discussion?
I think we should be moving forward. We owe it to the taxpayers, the community on this Roadrunners. I remember back 6 years ago, this was a vision. The costs are not only going up because of tariffs, but we need to make sure that we're telling our community that we are going to be doing that. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Okay, would you like to do the roll call vote?
Student trustee Robles,
Aye.
trustee Sanchez Fulton,
Aye.
trustee Meyer,
Aye.
trustee Perez,
Aye.
trustee Oden,
Aye.
trustee Kinnaman.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving on to information items, there's no action required from the board on the following agenda items. Our first information item is 15.01, legal recommendation to sunset administrative procedures related to the Board of Trustees. And I think I'm turning that to you, Vice.
Yes. Following the Community College League of California's recommendation or recommended templates, the Office of the President, in consultation with legal counsel, continues to review Chapter 2 policies and procedures. Legal counsel advised that the administrative procedures should not now govern how the board operates. To that end, the College Planning Council approved the sunset of the administrative procedures related to the Board of Trustees as discussed and approved in the second reading during the September 27th, 2024 College Planning Council meeting. With relevant board policies now updated, the following procedures have been recommended for sunset. These items are presented as information to the board. Administrative Procedure 2445, public participation at board meetings. Administrative Procedure 2740, board education. Administrative Procedure 2745, board self-evaluation. And that is that item. Are there any questions, I guess?
Do you want to go ahead and just go through each of the information items? That'd be great.
Sure. 15.02, February 2025 Capital Projects Report per Resolution 012122-3. For this item, I would ask Robert Rauscher to please come to the podium.
Good morning. Will we give the full report on screen, or will we just answer questions?
Full report, please.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It's going to be item 15.02. Thank you, Steve.
That's the one. Good morning, Chair Kinnaman, trustees, President Martinez Garcia. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and present our progress report for this bi-monthly period. First, you'll hopefully note that we've got a new format for the report, and I wanted to thank Nicholas Robles and his team for helping us get this pulled together with a new graphic presentation. Fundamentally, our projects are those you expect to see that we've been working on for quite some time now. We're working in Palm Springs, of course, at the Roadrunner Motors site in Cathedral City that we've just been talking about. We have two significant projects here on campus in Palm Desert, and we are wrapping up work out at Indio. So let's start with Palm Springs. The project is definitely very much in construction now. In fact, we've nearly completed all of the grading and earthwork efforts for the initial increment or phase of the project. If you go out there, it looks like a lot of very flat, uninteresting dirt, but be assured that there are pipes under there waiting to be filled with miles and miles of fiber optic cable and copper wire and such, and those will serve the entire campus going forward. We're in a good state budget-wise. Everything came in from our bidding efforts where we needed them to be. And the last piece of the bidding puzzle having to do with some specific technical painting for structural elements is also in place now. So we are truly going full speed ahead on Palm Springs. Roadrunner Motors, as I mentioned a moment ago, we did have an unfortunate delay due to some tricky circumstances, but we are now ready to move forward. So that project will begin in earnest within the next 2 weeks. You will see the construction fence going up, and we will start moving dirt at the first part of March. And as I said to Trustee Meyer before, we will be working on recovery schedules to reclaim some of the time that we've lost. The athletic stadium and fields project, if you were here, you certainly heard the old stadium come down. It was a pretty spectacular event. And we've been dealing with some challenges out there. Some of you may know that there's a species of pipe called transite, which is a legacy of a time where we thought asbestos was a good material to put in just everything that we built. So that's a contaminated material. We discovered some of that on this site, as we have on others, and that has been remediated, or is in the process rather of being remediated right now. After that's done, you'll begin to see much more rapid progress going on out there at the stadium project, including getting new footings and foundations built for the building. That's coming very quickly. So then this project, the science building renovation, is the other one where we had a real challenge with that transite pipe stuff. It has been dealt with now, and I'm pleased to say that we're about to hit a major milestone. The new floor slab for the building will be poured out very quickly. We are working on it right now, getting it finalized, and next week we expect to see the actual concrete coming in and being finalized. After that, they're going to work on the roof structure, build out the walls, and it'll be going very quickly. I know it's tougher with this one because you can't see everything that's going on from outside of the shell of the building, but after a few tricky moves, we're ready to progress very quickly now. And then finally, the Indio campus expansion project that has been on our minds very, very intimately for quite a while now. That project has two elements to it, Building A and Building B. Building B is the new building, which we had the ribbon cutting for back in August. That building is in use, and we are almost done ironing out the strange kinks and issues that we had with the opening of that building. Meanwhile, we've reached the point where Building A is substantially complete for most of the trade contractors, and we're finalizing the last few technical elements, mostly having to do with door hardware on Building A. So that building will be occupied soon as well. And I believe that takes us through the list of projects. Any questions?
I see that the design professionals, you have HMC architects, SCH architects, design professionals. I just want to know, they were vetted? Do we have any women-owned, minority-owned? Just a question.
It's a fair question. Off the top of my head, I do not have that information at my fingertips.
Okay.
These firms have been working with us for quite some time, so it really hasn't been a conversation that we've had in the last couple of years, to be fair.
Okay, thank you. No, I just wanted to know, just a question. And secondly, the taxpayers, the community, what do you see out of all these projects is going to be our first out the gate? We're all anticipating this. We've promised the voters that, which one in your, first and foremost, thank you for your presentation. Out of all of these, which ones are we going to be seeing? I see quarter 3, 2024. Which one's the first one that's going to be completed? Just for the record.
The Indio buildings are the first out the gate, most certainly. After that, the race is on between the science building and athletics, and personally, I'm putting my money on the science building, then the athletics, then Roadrunner Motors, then finally Palm Springs, as it's profoundly larger than the other projects.
Okay. And what could we do to, I'm just concerned about costs and let's just bring it out there. I mean, we're excited. Our students, our faculty, the community, just thank you for your work to get this done.
Thank you.
Can I make a comment on Mary Trustee Sanchez's question? So at the Indio campus, they moved all of the science courses. So there's biology, there's some chemistry going on, and the lab spaces are awesome. We go from the third floor where we have our microscopes, we have the equipment that we use. Some of it has been updated. And then I also saw in the agenda that they had there's budgets for new equipment for these departments. So a lot of the students there are pretty happy. It's nice that we can go from that third floor. Could we go down to the lecture space that has the adjustable whiteboards, and the professors are pretty active with just moving around the space and getting everyone's attention. So far it seems like a lot of the students are really enjoying the space.
Glad to hear it. Thank you.
I have a concern, and it's I don't know how to describe it. With all that's going on in Washington, D.C. about the tariffs, on again, off again, what country's going to have tariffs and what, it's possible that'll impact materials and materials availability. Are contractors tracking closely and making sure that they're going to minimize that issue as best they can?
Yes, you're hitting on what has caused me a lot of sleepless nights for the last couple of weeks, Trustee Meyer. That yes, you are right to be concerned. We are working very quickly to try to procure and store as many of the materials and products as we can. We'll be coming back to you all for authorizations for payment of storage facilities on a temporary basis. So we hope you'll be supportive of that and understand that that's part of trying to mitigate that idea that we do it just on time and somehow it's more efficient. That paradigm no longer works in our scenario. We have to get everything as quickly as we can, store it, and have it ready for installation the day that work is valid and ready to go. So yes, we're working a lot to try to mitigate those issues. And I think it's fair to be very honest with all of you that it will present ongoing challenges. So thank you in advance for your understanding and support as we jump through hoops to get those things resolved.
Sure, can I add something? I just want to say thank you to Robert and Moss for all their partnership and work. And we get to work with them weekly, daily, hourly sometimes, Robert.
Yeah.
And he's always responsive. Moss has been doing a really good job keeping me up to speed on what is going on, and everyone else that has interest in what's going on. So I just want to say thank you, Robert, for your report and everything.
Thank you.
Thank you. I guess I'm just a little more specific. In particular with steel, since so much of the Palm Springs campus will be based upon the steel pillars which hold everything up. Are we trying to secure that early?
We are indeed. In fact, I got a picture this week of one of the custom steel tree nodes that you can see in some of the renderings where the structural column comes up and branches out.
Right.
It's beautiful. It's a work of art. So we're pleased to say that work is ongoing. We're also working as quickly as possible to procure the rest of the structural steel. But again, Trustee Oden, you are correct in being concerned. A lot of that material will come from different parts of the world, and there will be some challenges with it, without a doubt. That, unfortunately, that's the nature of construction. So it's kind of what we deal with.
And that's the nature of construction before all the tariffs.
That's correct. That's correct. The tariffs themselves will potentially raise costs. I want to reassure everybody that we have built very reasonable contingencies into the project budget to address those when they come up. And we will, of course, come back and notify you immediately if we see any true concerns.
So you will be coming back with the storage so we could put some of this material away when the prices go up? Is that we're going to be
on all the projects? Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have an information item on 16.01, our quarterly financial status report, second quarter.
We have our 11 report. Director Naharo's here. If anyone has questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here to present to you the quarterly report for the 311 quarterly report we submit to the Chancellor's office every quarter. If the first half of the report is just the budgeted revenue and expenses for the last few years, the middle of the report is the available cash, and the bottom portion of the report is the current revenue, expenses, and fund balance. If there are any questions, feel free to ask.
Any questions from the college? Right. Well, thank you very much for your report. It must have been so good. We have no questions.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's easy to follow. All right, moving on to item 17.01, program showcase, spring 2025 flags.
We're here today to share. My turn to forget the microphone. Chrissy Camacho, I'd like to invite Chrissy Camacho, Professor of English, and Dr. Corbin Wild, Associate Professor of English, who are here today to share an overview of the program showcase presentations. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, board. It's good to be here. It's good to see everybody. We are excited to talk to you today about Program Showcase, which is our yearly event that happens during our Spring Flex. And this is when our programs come together as a college community to talk about all the wonderful things we do here on campus with our students in the classroom, outside of the classroom in terms of extracurricular with our community, the type of outreach that we do with other organizations and other schools. And I am here as the OAC chair. Program Showcase falls under Outcomes and Assessment Committee. And we are tasked with ensuring that every program has equal opportunity to present what they do in their work to the campus. So OAC, we look at this as an equity effort, in addition to reaffirming our practices, reaffirming the excellence that we bring to the classroom, and reaffirming the fact that faculty are so dedicated and committed to our students that when we attend Program Showcase, we are filled with pride. We are filled with joy. We are filled with celebration. And for me, speaking on behalf of myself, I find Program Showcase to be invigorating as a faculty member, and I believe that our faculty do as well. So everyone should have received an electronic copy of our Program Showcase handout, which includes a welcome letter and the agenda, and then also the Program Showcase materials. So all of our faculty, when it is their opportunity to present a Program Showcase, they spend an incredible amount of time and effort putting together presentations and narratives to showcase and highlight what we do here on campus, but also to document the great works that we are bringing here and the student success that we are seeing and are achieving. So it's really a moment of celebration. It's a moment of pride, and it's a moment for us to really come together as a community to share what we're doing and to build connections with each other, to share resources, to problem solve in real time, to discuss challenges, and also to discuss opportunities. So for Program Showcase, Dr. Wild here is going to talk a little bit about some of the highlights of our showcase and some of the information that faculty brought to Program Showcase that they would love to share out with the board and other members of our campus community.
I do want to emphasize before I begin that Program Showcase is a uniquely COD invention. It's something entirely faculty motivated. We decided we wanted to give our program review that is a standard of accreditation a little more joy. And that's where Program Showcase came from. It's so unique that ACCJC did invite Christy and I to talk about it at their annual leadership conference. And many of our colleagues there asked for our materials and are working on developing their own versions of Program Showcase. But I really want to put the emphasis back on our wonderful programs that shared this year. And the overarching theme is student success. What more can we do for our students, right? So our ABE program shared their fabulous celebration that they have for students who earn their GED through us. Our HVAC program shared that they are so inundated with students who want to take HVAC courses that they got to hire, right? We need more people there. And our biology programs also shared the ways in which they are touching students' lives across campus, particularly those who want to get into the nursing program. If you haven't had an opportunity yet, I do encourage you to look through the PowerPoint presentations. The DDP one, Digital Design and Production in particular, showcases student art. So that's that one was fun for me. The biology makes me a little nervous sometimes, but digital design, I can look at the pretty pictures and I feel better. So I do encourage you to look through those. I also want to remind you that these are truly efforts of faculty that we have decided as a faculty body matter to us. And it's about highlighting our students and the ways in which we can work together. I do want to give you an opportunity for questions since this is an information item and we could do a little back and forth. Do we have any questions about Program Showcase? Anything you're curious about, or you want me to keep bragging about I could do that too. I'm good at bragging.
Do any of my colleagues have questions?
I don't really have a question, but I just wanted to express my appreciation as a trustee for the work that you were doing. And it's so great that the ACCJC recognized it and showcased your presentation, which I think is just exceptional. So
We have a pretty cool poster.
We do. We have a really great poster.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of engagement at the ACCJC and a lot of positive comments and just this overall recognition of the fact that we come together as a community. And it's an opportunity for programs who may not know anything about each other to come together and just discover and learn what we're doing in other parts of the campus, aside from maybe where we happen to be, 90% of the time, right, in our own little spots.
Yeah. And, like students, faculty often ask, like, who's reading this? Where is this going? What is this for? Right. And the Program Showcase does take our mandated program reviews and gives them a place to be celebrated, to be recognized, to be acknowledged formally. And that's also why we're here, because we're here to advocate for our faculty that people are looking at your successes. Our community does care that you care about them too.
Now I have a question.
Right.
In the showcase, have you seen any problems or issues that have arisen once you pull all the programs together, either through cross-pollination, where you can do things together, or deficits that need to be addressed?
We have noticed some opportunities, right? I'm not going to say problems. I'm going to say opportunities. And most of those are about sharing resources, right? Across the board, our programs are growing and we do need faculty. We need to hire. That might be a problem as we move forward, right? Depending on budget and prioritization and all of those things. However, what we also found was we can share ideas for growing enrollment in this sort of more casual setting that can be meaningful and move across disciplines easily. One example comes to mind, our CIS program liaises with the middle schools, right? They start early, right? A lot of us go straight to the high schools, right? They go past that and they go into the middle schools. And that idea actually took root in several of our programs, and they've started talking to middle school students more so than high school to build our enrollment, to get students thinking even earlier about COD as an opportunity. So those are the sort of things that come up. Enrollment's down. Well, we're trying to talk to middle school students. It's been working. And then other programs adopt the practice and do it as well.
There's also opportunity for us to share resources. So during Program Showcase, the art department presented, and after the presentation, the business department of faculty were there, and they suggested that maybe Roadrunner Makers might be a great space for our art students to come and continue to create. So that's a really great example, right, of talking about how we as faculty can come together to share and inform each other about our resources.
Break down those silos, right? The art students want more opportunity to create. The business, our business faculty have a space with Roadrunner Makers.
Roadrunner
Makerspace, yes?
Makerspace.
Makerspace. Hey, let's share, right? And so that's one of the beautiful things about Program
Right.
Showcase.
And it builds community. And
It really
helps
does.
Students, right? It helps our students.
And by the by, it isn't just a faculty driven effort. We have deans, we have staff. Everyone's welcome. We host during Flex, and we encourage everyone to go. I can be quite persistent with the invitations.
And we do know there was a conflict this year with the Board of Trustees traveling, but next year we would like to invite everyone and we'll send out formal invitations so you can come and join us in the celebration.
Yeah, it really is a celebration. It's
It
fun.
is.
There
It's
was
a celebration.
balloons. Yeah, it was nice.
We heard you on the hiring because you need more staff, but are there any other ways that as the Board of Trustees that we can be supportive of your work?
I think start with the program showcase presentations, but take it a step further. Read the program enhancement plans. See what our faculty are up to, see what they're doing, boots on the ground. You're only getting a snapshot when we come and talk about the programs. But if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of how we're helping our students, those documents are your best way. I think one of the things that our faculty crave is feeling seen, right? That we're completing these things. We're doing what we're asked to do, and we're doing it well. It would be great if it was made a little more sunshined, right? That people are noticing that we're doing it and we're doing it well. Well, that's that song.
I would like to mention that the HVAC during their presentation for Program Showcase, they specifically mentioned the Board of Trustees.
They did.
So faculty are looking to engage and to share ideas and have voices heard.
Yeah, I found this PowerPoint presentation very enlightening. After my tours, I should have done it before because I would have known more about how the pieces fit. So very good job of that. And I would encourage anybody who's going to be anything on campus, go through this and learn, okay, if you go to Makerspace, what's that about? Or if you go into the art area, with the artist in the HVAC. I was there the other day. No one was there, but I got the tour.
And remember, every 5 years, we have different programs. The program showcase follows our PEPA, our program enhancement plan and program enhancement plan schedule. So every 5 years, people start over, and then you get the opportunity to do the showcase. Everyone wants to do it all the time, so we had to put limits on it somehow.
Right.
Any other questions? Anything we can help illuminate? But seriously, the DDP presentation, the students have fabulous art. All of those images are student created.
Yeah, I saw the guy with the tongue.
Oh, right? It's neat. Anything else? We're good? All right. Have a super great day, guys.
Thank you.
So moving on to our next study session, 18.01 sabbatical updates. So Acting President Martinez Garcia, can you please introduce the study session?
Yes, I would like to call on Interim Vice President Burrell to go ahead and introduce our presenters.
Thank you, Chair Kinnaman, Board of Trustees, Acting President Martinez Garcia. The following faculty members were on sabbatical leave for the 23-24 academic year, and their presentations and summaries were also attached for your review. But I do want to mention that, the following faculty were participating, and that was Dr. Jermaine Cathcart, Professor of Sociology, as well as Maria Elena Diaz, Professor of Speech. I would like to invite Professor Clayton Mays to the podium today. Clayton, if you're here, thank you. Also, if I can just say that, faculty members granted sabbatical leave, it's a prestigious opportunity to conduct research, creative research, travel. And so we're very fortunate to have you here today to share with us, your studies.
Thank you very much. Dr. Kinnaman, members of the board, Acting President Martinez and staff, it's a pleasure for me to come and tell you about this great sabbatical that I had, and it's the first one I've had in 24 years. I really didn't know what it was about until I really got into it. So I am very pleased that I did it after 24 years. The topic of it, we call it let me see if we can get this working. Basic Peace Officer Training and Facility Study. And this is, to give you a little bit of background on it, I was a founding director of our Public Safety Academy, which started on January the 1st, 2001. And that's just a little bit before 9/11. During that period of time, we did a lot of things. In 2004, a bond fund was passed, $346 million, of which $29 million of it was for our Public Safety Academy. It was to be built in 2 phases, and I'm very fortunate that I got to be the founding director and worked there until July the 31st, 2009. The academy was actually opened in January 2009. Basically, we had a basic peace officer program. That's what we had to start with. Now that program has just absolutely grown and grown. We have both level 3 and level 2. We used to have the level 1, and now we have it ready to bring back, where it's a footprint of the one that's offered at the Clark Training Center, and actually the certification is held by the Sheriff's Department. But we have that all ready to put into place where we can again graduate students that would have their basic peace officer training. In addition to that, we have a basic firefighter academy where we spent actually $2.8 million of our money to build a fire tower over in Thousand Palms. We're very proud of that. That program is really, really moving along well. And it's something for the Board of Trustees should be very proud of what they have done so that we're graduating firefighters now. Addition to that, we have emergency medical training. That program has grown, and we have a new program, the paramedic program that the board has approved. That one is ready to go this year. So that's kind of the background of what we were looking at. As we go into phase 2 of the Public Safety Academy, the facility itself, we're landlocked. There's no place to really build the kind of expansion that we did have. And one of the things that the dean has pointed out is that in Palm Desert, there's a height limit that we can go to. So that kind of restricts us. We're hoping that we have the opportunity to use and develop the Mecca campus into an extension of our Public Safety Academy. This study that we did, how this fits into this is that I picked actually 12 organizations to look at over a year. 8 of them were in California and 4 were outside of California. Let's go to the next slide. There we go. I divided it up. I have actually 4 volumes of attachments that I have to a summary report that I had, quite a large one, about an inch, that would be available to you if you'd like to have. But in the interest of time, just to let you know, there were 12 organizations. 8 were in California and 4 were outside of California. The type of let's go to the next slide. Okay, in the lower bottom of the screen where you can't see there now, basically it's showing that there's one is a regulatory agency, that's POST, California Commission on Peace Officers Standards and Training. There are 6 academies that we picked, and then there are 5 stakeholders. Those are really the 12 organizations, but that's a good summary to give it to you very quickly of what we were looking at. The California Highway Patrol Academy is the prestige academy in the state. I'm a graduate of the Los Angeles Police Academy a few years ago, and then also the FBI National Academy in Quantico, Virginia. So I've been around academies, but the one in Sacramento, it is an absolutely beautiful academy. It's nearly 500 acres for the academy, and they have at least 3 ranges. And one of the most important things is the Emergency Vehicle Operations Center that they have right there on their campus. In the Highway Patrol, there's the commissioner, deputy commissioner, and 2 assistant commissioners. But one of the chiefs, the next rank down, took me all day to the academy, all through all parts of it. It's the only live-in academy in the state where you're required to live in. They do 1,600 hours of training far more than post required. So a lot of that is agency specific. I have a chart. Let's go to the next one, please, in the interest of time. Okay, on this chart here, it shows just very briefly that post requires a minimum of 664 hours. But if you have a modular formats like we have, it's 727 hours. With the program that we have a joint agreement with the Riverside Sheriff's Department, that program will produce about 727 is the minimum, and ours will be over 900 hours that we'll offer here at College of the Desert. The curriculum has already been approved. We modified the curriculum that we had before to be a footprint of the program that's offered up at the Ben Clark Training Center. In this, if you go through all of the academies that we went through, besides the Highway Patrol, there were 2 county academies. One of them is Riverside Sheriff's Department, which is really about the 4th largest organization in California in law enforcement. In the Ben Clark Training Center, they far exceed the minimum of the state. If we go to the other one with San Bernardino, and that's known as the Frank Brand Regional Training Center. It's over 800 acres. So it's the largest. And San Bernardino County is the largest county in California and the United States. So if you look at it and you say they have 800 acres that they can train up there, certainly not the largest population, but the largest physical area. It's a beautiful setup, large, 16 different ranges, their own EVOC. But with all of these administrators that we were able to talk to, we tried to identify what were the most important 3 things. Let the administrator tell us what they thought the most important 3 things were. Let's go to the next slide, please. Whoops, let's go back. Well, there we go, facilities. When we go to the facilities one, we find out that the range, everyone sees the range is very, very important. We've been very fortunate in that we designed an academy before it went to the architect. We had Bert Batanga here from Architect did this, helped us, worked with us on this. But the academy that we designed that I wanted would have cost us about $50 million, which was not reasonable at the time. But it was a beautiful drawing. Matter of fact, the president at that time was Maria Sheehan, and Dr. Sheehan said, Clayton, do me a favor. Please take that H off of the top of the diagram. And that H was a heliport. so anyhow, to bring us up to date here is realistically, we have in the 24 years that we've been around, we've gotten by without having a range. We really need that range for our students, and the facility out at Mechatherm is an excellent place to do it. So I would say that after my studies of this very quickly, I would say the range is one of the biggest things that we need, but it is expensive, and that's a reality to it. Secondly is the EVOC. We use a regional EVOC, which is that part of that 800 acres up in San Bernardino now for the training that we're going to do for the Module 1. Riverside Sheriff's is going to put in their own EVOC soon up in the Ben Clark Training Center. But right now, that's the closest place for us to go and we used before is up in San Bernardino. The third, a lot of technology is available now that I didn't realize. The technology for ranges, and many of the departments are using them. Now, of those department or academies that we went to, there's 6, the Highway Patrol, and then the 2 county academies, and then 3 college academies. Rio Hondo serves the county of Los Angeles, and many of the police chiefs in Los Angeles use that for the smaller departments used it. When I was a police chief in Downey, I hired people that would graduate from Rio Hondo, and then I went there and studied it during this sabbatical, and they still have a great program. They really produced good candidates there. 2 other ones were Palomar, and the other one was San Bernardino Valley College. San Bernardino Valley College also provides a certificate program along with the Frank Brand Regional Training Center, which is in San Bernardino. In other words, they're the college that provides it. So in summary, out of all this, we have two things. We exceed what the post requirements are. Could you go back one slide? Go back one. What I'd like to point out on this slide to you. Could you go back one? Yeah, no, let's say go right there. That's good. When you look at this, you go down and you find out that outside of California, you go to Tennessee. They have 480 hours that they require. You go to Texas, Johnson County, Texas. Spent all day with the sheriff in there, and that they have 735 hours of required training. But if you go, those are similar to ours. But you go down to Hawaii, and Hawaii is the only state in the United States that does not have a post-regulatory agency for the state. And they have constantly stayed. There's a big debate that's been going on for 15 years in Hawaii about that they need to have it certified. And the police agencies have said, no, they want to have their own standard. They can hire a person, and it wasn't too many years back, and in Tennessee, they would hire someone, a sheriff that was elected, they would hire someone and they would give them OJT, and that was their training. But we go back into our history, and we had August Vollmer in California that was really the foundation founder of modern policing in the United States. And he insisted that we have an academy where we train people. While I was there, I would like to conclude my comments on Hawaii is that I've gone there 40 years for vacation. But I saw a different part that I'd never seen before, because the day I went down to the police station to meet with the officials there, all the power was out. We had a power outage. In the condo, we were on the 7th floor, and I had no electricity. There was no refrigeration. All the stores were closed. All the gas stations were closed because there was no electricity. But I got in the car and thought, well, I'll go on down here. So I went down 7 stories of stairs, got in the car, and as I drove south, the traffic was backlogged. And that was the day of the fire. Over 100 people died that day. Over 100 people that day died within 2 miles from where we were staying. And as a result, it didn't work out the way I thought it was going to do. I left, made a U-turn, like with a lot of cars, went back because there's no traffic could go southbound. And I thought, well, I'll do it tomorrow, the next day, it's not a problem. And anyhow, the end result was that we ran out of food, and it was a survival thing for both myself and my wife. And we got it. We were very fortunate. We made a run for it. Once you left, you couldn't come back in. And the problem was on the east side of the island, there was no housing. And I was very fortunate that my son found a friend that had a house, and this young couple had 2 kids, and he said, send your parents over here and we'll do it. And so we stayed. We made it right with them. But let me tell you, it was really an experience. And I'm telling you that California has post standards. In Hawaii, they don't have that. And the civil liability exposure that they have is tremendous. I really appreciate this board authorizing me to do this. It was really a learning session, and I'm very grateful for it. And can I answer any questions?
Start with our student.
Thank you very much.
Questions or? All right, thank you very much. That was informative. Moving on to item 19, public comments, 19.01, request to address the Board of Trustees regarding matters not on the agenda. Remote public participation is allowed and will be accepted in person by email to otp@collegeofthedesert.edu during the meeting and submitted for the record or by using the raise your hand function by joining the Zoom link pursuant to District Administrative Procedure 2345, each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes per topic. 15 minutes shall be the maximum time allotment for public speakers on any one subject, regardless of the number of speakers at any one board meeting. At the discretion of the majority of the board, these limits may be extended. All comments must be submitted or brought forward prior to the end of the public comments section. As an additional note, this item is intended for members of the public who wish to speak regarding matters not related to the agenda. Irene, do we have public comments?
Yes, Chair Kinnaman, we do.
Thank you.
We have here in person Jeannie Carey, professor from the Department of Music, who is here to address the board.
Hello, good afternoon. I just wanted to speak quickly to introduce myself and to let you know about a very exciting concert that we have coming up on Sunday. The music department is very committed to serving our students, and we invest a lot of time and energy and funds even sometimes to make sure that they get really good educational experiences and performance experiences. So this Sunday, we are hosting the Coachella Valley Classical Voices. This is a group in the community that sings opera and Broadway music. So we are hosting them this Sunday, 3 o'clock at Pollock Theater, and all the singers are donating their time to raise money for the music department so that we can bring in speakers and events for these students. I happen to be a part of this group, Coachella Valley Classical Voices, and so I thought that maybe I would sing a little bit for you so that you can get a little tiny taste of what you might hear Sunday at 3 o'clock in the Pollock Theater. We're going to see how this goes. I have a track and I have my music here, and I don't know how well this will work or not, but we're going to try. Okay. Let's see if this will work. Okay. I'm going to put my phone to the mic and then I will sing. We'll see what happens. Quick intro. So Thank you. Thank you.
Chairman, I went last Sunday to see them perform, and I'm so looking forward for Sunday at 3. Thank you so much for performing and sharing your gift and the gift for the students. Thank you.
Yeah, Irene, we got additional. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair Kinnaman. So we also have here Professor Vizzoli, who would like to also address the board.
It's kind of hard to follow that one. But good afternoon, everyone. So good afternoon, Acting President, Superintendent Martinez Garcia, trustees, and College of the Desert community. On behalf of the GSD Pride Center, Gender and Sexuality Diverse Pride Center, I'm proud to present some of the activities the SAGA, Sexuality and Gender Alliance Club, and the Pride Student Leaders plan for the spring 2025 semester. On March 9th, our Pride student leaders will participate to the annual bed race and parade at the Cathedral City LGBTQ Days. This year, the theme is Disney Villains. The beds line up at 10 a.m. Last year, our students won a first and second place award for the work they put into representing the college at this event. On March 29th, the Safe School Desert City Rainbow Youth Summit will be hosted for the second year in a row at College of the Desert. This is an annual event, brings together LGBTQ plus students and allies from different schools and communities in the Coachella Valley and beyond. The summit provides a safe and supportive space for youth to learn, network, and have fun. The summit features inspirational speakers, information tables, workshops, and social activities that cover topics such as leadership, advocacy, health, and wellness. On April 9th, the Saga students will host a drag show at the Pollock Theater from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. The theme for this semester's show is circus. On May 7th at 5:30 p.m. at the Pollock Theater, the Pride student leaders, in collaboration with the students from Saga, staff, and faculty, will host, perform, and celebrate their final event of the term. On this occasion, students that received the LGBTQ Coachella Valley Scholarship and LGBTQ students that are graduating will be recognized. We hope to see many of you at our events. As many mentioned last month, I'd like to thank the COD Foundation for the incredible work that was delivered at Stepping Out for COD. During this event, Tony Ogden, one of our major donors for the CV Pride Scholarship, received the Hall of Fame Honorary Award. Finally, thank you, Acting President Superintendent Martinez Garcia, for visiting and meeting the students at the Pride Center during the first week of the semester, and for reassuring the COD community on our mission to protect our diverse community. Thank you, everyone. Questions? Okay. Thank you.
And then we also received another request to address the board, Chair Kinnaman, from a local resident named Thomas Rafe. I've included it in the record and I've also printed it out for the Board of Trustees, but he is not here. And I also checked on Zoom and it looks like hasn't joined via Zoom.
Great, thank you. All right, then we will move on to item 20, future agenda items. Do any trustees have requests for future agenda items?
The item that we did receive in our board was not current, so I'll repeat from last. If we could do a future item agenda on our most vulnerable population, I want to go into getting an update about the tiny home. Something that we brought forth throughout California was affordable student housing. I would like to get, hopefully in the future, to hear about our tiny homes and what we're doing here at the college to address student housing. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I have nothing additional at this time, so thank you very much. At this time, we will be recessing to closed session. And it is 12:14. The live feed of this meeting will continue. Board members and Acting President Martinez Garcia, I ask that you please join me in closed session at 12:30? At 12:30. Thank you. reconvene our open session at 1:11. And there was no action taken during closed session. Item 23.01, I now adjourn the regular meeting of the Desert Community College District Board of Trustees at 1:12. Thank you.
Recording stopped.